If you've been white knuckling your way through adulting with ADHD, burnout, or just too many browser tabs open in your brain, I've got you. Let's hop on a free discovery call where we'll talk ADHD, purpose, and how to stop feeling like a walking to-do list. No weird sales pitches, just real talk. Fierce kindness. Book it now at youradhdguy.com. That's youradhdguy.com. Your future self will high five you for it. Yeah. Welcome to Don't Mind Me, I Just Have ADHD, the podcast where fierce kindness meets the unfiltered truth. A one-stop shop about all things ADHD, where we smash the stigma and mystery around ADHD, depression, and the masks we wear at work and in life. I'm Ron, your ADHD guy, your guide, and your reminder that being different isn't a flaw. It's a biological advantage, a signal that you were never meant to blend in. You were built to make a difference. Here, we face the struggles that no one seems to get with heart. We unpack the chaos. We build strength through our sensitivity. We turn pain into power. Because kindness isn't weak. It's a revolution. And every time you show up for yourself, that's you taking your life back. So let's make it cool to be different. Let's make it brave. Let's make it yours. Remote work can open doors for ADHD brains if you got the right keys. Yeah, it can sound like a dream, working from home and not having a boss constantly yelling at you. Yet, many people don't consider that when you work for yourself or from home, you also remove the structure, accountability, and those subtle time cues that keep a lot of us on track. While this is undoubtedly true, working from home gives you more flexibility and control over your environment and how that is created, which can be empowering if you know how to work with your brain instead of against it. In this episode, we'll walk through how to stay productive while working remotely with ADHD by understanding the benefits of remote work, the challenges it creates, and the tools that help you stay focused and structured without someone breathing down your neck. Now let's get into it. Well, hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ron, your ADHD guy. This is going to be another special episode. So let's start with the good news. Why remote work can be better. Remote work gives ADHD brains more control. And for those of us with ADHD, a traditional office can feel like a battleground of sensory assault. So for me, I know that I'm continuing to grow on my journey and to develop my own business. And, to be honest, I am still deeply involved in hashing out how that works. I've only been really at this for less than a year or, maybe a year. And I've learned so much, especially about what the structure that it takes, the type of people that you need in your life, and, the motivation, like how that looks for somebody with ADHD. And in the beginning, it was scary. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to do something other than what I was doing, and I'm continuing to do right now. And I'm fortunate to have like that foundation of having a normal 9 to 5 or whatever job, that is key to, I feel like that I don't feel so overwhelmed and I don't feel so stressed out that I've got to make things work, that I've got to continue to try this and do that, without, coming back and seeing, well, is that actually working? And honestly, working with a coach has been a huge game changer for me, because like now I can see where I'm trying to go clearer, because it's not just me looking at it, and it's somebody who's been in the industry. So if you're trying to do that and develop a lifestyle that's your own from, working from home, this is the episode for you, and you can do it. I believe people with ADHD are kind of specially programmed to, like if you can get these other parts down, you have such a huge advantage on other entrepreneurs or solopreneurs in the industry. So this is definitely an episode for you. Like if this is something that you really want to pursue and want to get involved with, like I highly recommend it with the right tools. Many of us neurodivergents found that the pandemic provided an opportunity to control noise, lighting, and interruptions at home, which can drastically reduce overstimulation. You're not dealing with the open office distractions, the commute fatigue, or that coworker who always needs to talk just when you get into the groove. According to The Guardian, many neurodivergent people thrive in remote settings because they get to create an environment that works for them. People who disclose mental illness or other invisible disabilities, such as autism, often experience stigma after disclosure, says Simon Burry, a postdoctoral research student at the Olga Tennyson Autism Research Center at La Trobe University in Melbourne, Australia. Continues by saying this has led to reports of being overlooked for promotions, being discriminated against in task allocation that could lead to promotion, or simply being fired. Which is crazy. You don't have to worry about being micromanaged out of a promotion when you are working for yourself. Some of the things that you have the freedom to do are: you can set your own schedule. You can set alarms and listen to your favorite music and not worry if somebody's going to get offended or you're playing it too loud. Maybe if you got roommates, you can put on noise canceling headphones, but still you have that ability and that freedom. And you don't have to wait in traffic. Imagine all the time that you're going to save. Like, you don't have to waste all that time trying to get to work. It's literally down the down the hallway. And you have more time with your pets. If you have pets, that's a huge bonus, or children. So, but let's be honest. Freedom without structure can quickly turn into chaos. So remote work also removes the external structure that many of us rely on. Without meetings, clocks, or coworkers walking by, it's easy to drift into distraction or time blindness. So, as you may know, ADHD makes time feel slippery. Without external cues, we can hyperfocus on the wrong task or not start anything at all. A Forbes article on neurodivergent workers notes that remote work often magnifies executive dysfunction. This could be difficulty with task initiation, sustaining attention, and switching between priorities. I know that while writing this article and doing the research, it was incredibly daunting, especially since it took me a little while to find the right motivation or interest in that particular task. According to an MIT Sloan Management Review, the lack of routine can increase stress and reduce performance without intentional systems being in place. Fortunately, building those systems doesn't require perfection. It just needs a plan that fits you. ADHD-friendly systems create consistency, even if you despise routines. So now your brain needs an anchor, not rigid schedules. Now let's begin with your morning ritual. Even just a 3-step routine like making coffee, reviewing your to-do list, and putting on headphones can signal work mode. While you are working, you can take advantage of tools like Pomodoro timers, which is like a 25-minute work block and a 5-minute break. Repeat and rinse, or rinse and repeat. Noise-canceling headphones and a do not disturb note on your office door for roommates to reduce distractions, which are just some of the things to consider. According to the Edge Foundation, ADHD workers do better when their space is physically and mentally defined, meaning they don't work from bed and try to keep their desk clear of non-work items and other clutter. It's about developing a routine that fits your style of thinking. Not every brain is created the same, even ADHD ones. So it's about structuring your day to include intense periods of work, focus, followed by good breaks. Working in sync with your brain's natural 90-minute focus cycle isn't a luxury. It's a performance strategy. Backed by research from the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health and Florida State University, short, frequent breaks help prevent burnout, sharpen focus, and sustain peak productivity. Whether that is focusing on one task per day until it's done and then moving on, or having a short list of 3 or 4 tasks that you can bounce between. The most important thing is to remember that work for, say, an hour and then take a 10 to 15 minute break to optimize productivity. When you implement this strategy, it has been shown to get more work done in just a few hours than an entire 8-hour day. That's crazy. Still, one of the most effective focus hacks doesn't even require you to work harder. It just involves having someone else there. Body doubling isn't a gimmick. It's a legit ADHD productivity tool. So just having another person present, virtually or in person, can help you stay on task. Body doubling is a new productivity tool that involves working alongside somebody, either virtually or in person, to complete tasks such as homework or housework. Anyone can act as a body double, such as a coworker or a friend, because having someone else present has been shown to help with focus. Apps like FocusMate, which is free to join, offers a variety of options from 20, 50 to 75-minute sessions to tackle anything from chores to bigger projects. This approach can make a huge difference. Very Well Health explains that it reduces overwhelm, especially when starting tedious or complex tasks. And according to Wired, more workplaces are beginning to integrate body doubling into remote team workflows. Just knowing that someone else is there gives you a sense of motivation, just like going to the gym with a trainer or friend. So just because you're working for yourself doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. Now, it's time to tie all this together and talk about how you can use these ideas starting today. So working remotely doesn't have to mean working alone or in chaos. Remote work offers freedom and flexibility, which can be a massive gift to ADHDers, but only if you put the right systems in place. With structure, accountability, and intention, you can thrive without someone watching over your shoulder. So set your course, adjust your sails, and don't wait for permission. This is your boat now. Like with most things worth pursuing in this life, it takes time and adjustment. Design your routine, trust your rhythm, and build a workflow that lets your strength shine. The open waters of remote work are vast, and the path is yours to chart. So as always, I have my free discovery call, and you can find that at youradhdguy.com. It's a short getting to know you session so that you can work with me and I help you, whatever that may look like, to be more social, to be more mindful with character strengths, or to help regulate your emotions. I got you. Just book that call today at youradhdguy.com. And thank you for listening. And it's always been a real pleasure and an honor. And as always, subscribe, and may the source be with you.